Uh, there we go. This is the part where I stand up. It's also the part where I sound further away from the mic. You ever see homeless people out in the street? Of course you do. You ever see homeless people out in the street that are like yelling about stuff? Of course you have. They're not yelling at anybody in particular. They're just they're just emoting. They're having not really an episode, more like a Thanksgiving all day marathon, right? They're disturbed, you'd say. Yeah, they're disturbed, sure. Yes, they're disturbed. I'll grant that. I'll grant that they're disturbed, absolutely. One time I saw this guy on a bus. What a horrible time that was, having to take the bus. If you took the bus once in your life, I'm sorry that that had to happen. Sorry that you had to live in a situation where you either had to take the bus because that's the best way to travel. So that means that you're living in some concrete city hellscape with all of the dregs, with all the worst people, or it means you couldn't afford to drive a car. Either way, terrible time for anyone to have to take the goddamn bus. If anyone likes to take the bus, you're either in Bavaria in the 1960s, or you're Mongolian, or you're having the worst time of your life. Because I'm pretty sure in Mongolia it's nice to take the bus. It's a stable kind of hell that they have over there, Mongolia. Take a look. Can't show you now. Don't want to show you now. I've gotta disrupt this loop. Disrupt this loop that isn't really interesting to begin with. But what you don't want, what you really don't want, is for me to get on Google Maps unprepared, doing street view of Mongolia, and just going, law, yeah, yeah, this right here. There's a lot of karaoke bars in Mongolia. Let's go down here, go down here. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. So we're not going to do that. So I'm not going to show you. You can look yourself right now as I speak. How about that? Do that. But if you can't, because you're like me, you like to listen to these things when you're out and about, when you're doing a job that might have some downtime or might give you the space to be alone when you work, so you'll be able to get away with listening to a podcast or something while you're working. So maybe you can't check the Mongolian thing. But we're talking about homeless people who are schizoid, disturbed, yelling at people on the street. And I'm going to tell you about this guy on the bus. We got sidetracked. We're talking about this guy on the bus. This guy on the bus didn't even look homeless. He was wearing a sports shirt, sports team of football, basketball. Don't remember. Back then, it wouldn't have registered to me because I didn't know the teams. Now I know the teams, but I can't remember what his shirt was. But he was wearing some kind of sports shirt that had the logo, right? It was well, I'm colorblind, so I can't really even tell you what color it was, but it was some kind of a navy blue background. The logo, couldn't tell you what the logo's colors were, but nice navy blue shirt with a sports logo on it. He's got a buzz cut. I believe he's bald on top, and so he just shaves his head and grows in a little bit. Looks like a prickly pear, and his pants are fine. He just purchased something. He's got a plastic bag with him that has some contraband, some accoutrements, some stuff, maybe some snacks, perhaps a drink. He bought something. He didn't steal it, because if he stole it, he would just have it. Unless you steal the bag too. Why would you do that? But Maybe he had the bag already. That could be it. I saved my grocery bags. I need to stop saving my grocery bags. They're piling up. I'm dying in grocery bags. So here's this guy on the bus, the way I described him, and he's sitting behind the bus driver. There is a divider between him and the bus driver, and he's talking to somebody. There's nothing in his earbud or in his ears. In fact, this was at a time when it was uncommon for there to be earbuds. So he he was talking to somebody. He was looking straight ahead. And when he wasn't speaking, he was panting. Not like a dog, but like a cat. You ever seen a cat pant? It's kind of scary when a cat pants. Like when you see it on a video, it's like kind of funny, but like when it happens to you, you're like, oh my God, is my cat going to explode? Is he okay? Do I need to rush him to the vet? Does he need water? He needs water. He needs water. Go get him some water. Go get him some water. He's not drinking the water. He's not drinking the water. Okay, we gotta take him to the vet. Gotta take him to the vet. This guy's losing it, right? He's losing it on the bus. He's losing it. It sounds like he's having a conversation, an argument with either his mother or his wife or his kids. Couldn't figure it out, but he was like shouting. He was like shouting in that way when you shout at somebody when you have an argument with them, or maybe you've watched this kind of thing before. Uh, Shouting as if he. Oh no, this is even more perfect. Shouting like he's doing a wrestling promo. Yeah, that's what it was like. 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 He was doing that. That's what it was doing. Not stalling. Not stalling. I'm not repeating myself to stall. I'm getting to a point. There's a whole point to this. There's a whole point to what I'm doing. The whole reason why I'm telling you about this homeless, not this, he's not homeless. There's a reason why I'm telling you about this guy on the bus who's shouting and looking straight ahead. So he wasn't homeless and he was doing the homeless thing. And then you see homeless people and they're doing it. And I'm doing it right now. How many steps removed would it be for someone else also doing it in this way? How many steps removed from that actually is from a homeless guy on the street? Because I'll tell you why the homeless people on the street do it. You want to know why the homeless people on the street do it? I'll tell you why. They would do it if they were at home. They would do it if they were indoors. They'd pace around and they would start saying some shit that doesn't make sense. I did it the other day. I was in the shower. I was upset. And I had the thoughts in my head that were unraveling. They were thoughts. That's it. Just thoughts. Just thoughts. Not intrusive thoughts, not thoughts I shouldn't have, not nothing like that. Just thoughts. Just thoughts, maybe a little uncomfortable kind of little bit of thoughts like that, but thoughts nevertheless. And I was already in this heightened state, and the thoughts were occurring to me, and something in my head likened it to a catastrophe, to a disaster. What kind of disasters? A big one. You know what the big one is? Nuclear bomb. So I was thinking, and that was the chain of the thought. And then from that first thought to the chain, out my mouth, suddenly I said, nuked it, nuked it, nuked it, nuked it. So when you see a homeless guy on the street and he's crashing out, as the kids say, he's crashing out. He's crashing out. Oh my God, you guys, he's crashing out.
He's crashing out. Dude, he's crashing out, and why is the picture black?
There we go.
He's crashing out, you guys. Oh, look at him, he's crashing out. I'm crashing out, they'll say. I'm not crashing out. Look, let me tap at the sign. Lolcow time, this is a bit, I assure you. I'm not crashing out, you're crashing out. You're crashing out. You think I'm crashing out? You're crashing out. Anytime you say that somebody is crashing out, you're crashing out. You're going, oh my God, I can't handle that this guy is emoting. It's making me uncomfortable. Better say a funny internet catchphrase that makes me look better and makes me feel better. Not about myself, but about what I'm witnessing. You're crashing out. Hee hee hee. That's what crashing out is. You're crashing out. Let me tell you something. If I was homeless right now, this is what would be happening. If you ever found yourself pacing back and forth, having thoughts and having those thoughts create other chains of thoughts, and you start saying things out loud, guess what? You are a homeless schizophrenic. Ha ha ha. Except I have a sign. I have a sign that says this is a bit, I assure you. So, there you go. I'm excused. I have an excuse right there. Right there. There's a sign. So if you ever become homeless, and we always see these homeless people with signs, right? We always see them with cardboard signs. This is what they need to do. They need to put on a sign that says, this is a bit, I assure you. Don't worry. Just walk around with the sign like that. They can hold it with their hands. They can wear it around their neck. Whatever they want to do, so long as it can be seen. Don't say anything helps or God bless you. Nothing like that. Just say this is a bit. I assure you. Not that it matters. It's only people in homes that get the attention if they start behaving in this kind of way. I'm not saying it's happened to me. It wouldn't happen to me. Nobody gives a shit about this neighborhood. But when you're like already when there's nothing else you could lose other than oxygen going to your brain, when that's the only thing that you have left to lose, they let you. You don't have to have a sign. What would the sign do if you were homeless and skitzing out? Would the sign stop the paddy wagon from coming over and picking you up? No. Because you're being homeless in a town that doesn't give a shit. In fact, they like it. They wish they had more. They need more. They need more for so many reasons. So many reasons why they would need more. They need more for gentrification, if you want to think that's part of the scheme. They need more because they actually are brain dead liberal shit lib retards who actually do believe the shit they say. And so they would actually feel like there's something wrong with their town when it's not crawling around with schizophrenics. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a homeless person in Seattle get away with saying the N-word. Maybe that's how you get help when you're homeless, right? Maybe that's how. Maybe instead of going to Dallas, maybe instead of going to Dallas, you go to a liberal city in a liberal state, and you go to Seattle and you start saying the N-word. And then suddenly people will come to you and be like, I mean, they're gonna come at you with like, I don't know, weapons. Maybe they might come at you with they might come at you with some hostile intent. They might come after you just because they just really hate that word. They want to teach you a lesson, but at least you'll be taken somewhere, and maybe there'll be some there'll be a chain of a change of custody at some point after they're done just beating the shit out of you and wailing you for saying the N word while homeless in a liberal town in a liberal state where they would have otherwise tolerated all of it. But because you said the wrong word, now you have all the attention on you. And even if you had a sign, even if you had the sign that said, "This is a bit," I assure you, even if you had a sign, it wouldn't help. There would be no reason. See, this is what I'm saying. There would be no reason for them to have a sign like that. But so don't wear the sign when you go to the liberal town in the liberal state and start saying that when they beat you up, and then you have to go somewhere, and now you know it's somewhere down that busy day you get some food and a blanket, some water, some medical attention, and then it's like, finally somebody reached out to me, finally. Not where I wanted to end with that one. You like candy corn? I love candy corn. Let me tell you about candy corn. You got the harvest mix, autumn mix, I think they call it. Autumn mix. Everybody loves a good candy break. When I say candy break, I mean break in the broadcast sense, not in the you know, taking a break from work sense. Autumn mix. They have the candy corn that's like green at the ends instead of yellow, and they taste a little bit better. And they also have the regular candy corns in there, and then they have the pumpkins. You love the pumpkins. The pumpkins are pretty good. The pumpkins are the best part. But candy corn itself, not bad. You need to re-examine the candy corn thing if you don't like candy corn. Let me tell you why candy corn is important. Candy corn is the last stand for America. This is an American candy made by Americans for Americans, and only Americans like me eat it. And this candy is suffering. If you look at the news about candy corn, the candy corn racket is suffering. People aren't buying candy corn. You want to know why people aren't buying candy corn? Because we don't have Americans in this country. And maybe you're an American. Maybe you're like an actual real American, not some Turkish asswipe that was born here and has a attention on him and speaks English, and that's the only thing that makes him American because he's an immigrant. Because we're a nation of immigrants. We're not. We're a nation of settlers. We're a nation, or we're a nation of colonizers. We're not immigrants looking for a job. That's not America. That's not how we got founded. That's not it. I don't care if you had to run away from religion and that's why you came here. That does not make you an American. What's going on with this video? All right. Oh man, that VHS looks so smooth. Or not smooth, looks rough. Love it. Okay. Candy corn. The last stand for Americans. We have so many people that like spicy stuff. You know, it's spicy? Is it spicy? It's not spicy. It's spicy. All right? That's candy today. Candy today is little crystallized peppers. That's candy today. Look at the chip section. You got 7 different kinds of spicy chip and you got one Cool Ranch. Dude, is you saying nacho cheese is spicy? No, I'm saying nacho cheese is default. You got 5 different kinds of spicy flavor, and they fly off the shelves. And you ask people, hey, what's your favorite flavor of chip? You ask anybody, and they'll say, oh, I like the gimmicky, limited time, long gone, back again bullshit spicy flavor because I like spicy. And maybe they actually do like spicy, or maybe because they want to be cool like their peers who also like spicy. Because you know what spicy means? Spicy means you're macho and you're a man. What spicy means is that you do so much self-harm to yourself that you're willing to do self-harm for something that's enjoyable, such as eating. And you're gonna eat some spicy shit, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be unpleasant, but you're gonna say you love it. You're gonna convince other people it's a good idea, and they're gonna be convinced themselves it's a good idea. And we're all just going to be a bunch of self-flagellating, spicy food eating retards who don't like Cool Ranch anymore. What did Cool Ranch ever do to somebody? Cool Ranch, the crime of Cool Ranch is that it's white. Cool Ranch is so white that the bag is blue. Not even purple. So have some candy corn, damn it. Put some energy out in the world that says, I want America to live. So buy some candy corn. We're too late. I should have said this months ago. Buy candy corn. Put a note on your fridge. Candy corn every year. Buy 30 pounds of it. I want you to buy so much candy corn that you're giving it away to people who don't want candy corn. And then there might be a chance that they eat it and they go, hey, you know what? Not bad. They'll get a hankering for it. And that's going to spread. Then everyone's going to be like, you know what? It's not just the pumpkins. The pumpkins are good, but all the other candy corn's really good too. And then we'll have candy corn safe. Candy corn will be safe. And then finally we can all breathe. We can all breathe and say we can finally go back. We can turn all this shit around and we can go back to better times. Better times when candy corn was not at risk. The implications. Don't you understand? The implications of candy corn. It's important. You think I'm joking? Oh, you know what? Forgot the sign. There it is. Oh no, I forgot the sign. I forgot the sign. Oh, jeez. So what did we talk about today? We talked about homeless people who walk around schizoid out of their minds, but they're actually healthy. Well, they're not healthy. They're healthy. They're healthy. They're healthy because you do the same thing, and you would do the same thing if you were comfortable in the street because you were stranded on the street. You're on the street. You put yourself on the street. You got sent to the street. Whatever reason is, you're on the street. Your fault, their fault, whose fault, don't know. You're on the street. You're going to get comfortable with the street. You're going to get so comfortable that you're going to let yourself vent. Because thinking about it's not enough. Talking it over with someone else not enough. You just have to let it go. This is how you let it go. You could either eat. You could eat that all away. You could do exercise, but you know what happens if you do exercise? Here, I'll show you what'll happen. I'll show you what'll happen if you do exercise. Where's that dumbbell? Where is it? Come over here, dumbbell. Because here's what's going to happen. This exercise grift, it's so lame. Yeah, exercise is going to help you, right? All right. So guys, lifting weights right now. pumping the dumbbell. Guess what? Still going to talk about candy corn. Still going to talk about how candy corn is the last stand for America. Still going to talk about how being a hobo, screaming at people on the street, is actually not that unusual, because you would be screaming in your own house if you were being mentally tortured. That's what I'm saying, mentally tortured. That's what that is. It's not mental illness, because the illness stops when the torture stops. And this dumbbell does not make the torture go away. It does not distract me. It does not do anything of the sort. It's just a dumbbell. That's it. And I'm going to finish these reps so it's not a total waste. If I lost count, it's starting to feel, I mean, not starting to feel the burn. I feel the burn. All right, we can let go. The street isn't ready for my vent. Too cogent. My rage gets too focused. Discord trained me too well. Comment from Kenzen Zaizen. No, I think the street's plenty ready. I think the street needs more people like us. Frankly, we need a schizo hobo renaissance. The discourse has to improve. We have to show the world that there's a way. Don't you remember street preachers? I'm not talking about the people today that wear sandwich boards and have a megaphone and they say platitudinous, trite stuff. They say on a megaphone something like "God loves you, it's never too late," stuff like this. They're hoping that maybe there's someone who is vulnerable at the moment, which is fine. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'd rather you sell religion than sell a product to a vulnerable person. But street preachers, I imagine, at one point, were kind of maybe the village idiot. So, yeah, that's what we need. Oh, I'm a little exhausted now. Paced around in a circle, used my diaphragm at times to say things, bent down to really express the all the air out of myself, kind of like an accordion with its bellows. Jeez. All right, he's saying Vancouver State Fair. I saw two hobo scammers kayfabe a fight over a corner as an excuse to scream full volume and get attention. That's good. Oh my God, that's great. I need to see something here. I can't. I want to say I remember this person. I believe this is, but you said Vancouver, so it can't be you, unless you traveled to there. This is my corner. Fuck you, it's my corner. But you stick around long enough and they start repeating lines and it was too obvious it was a loop. Yeah. Yeah. Well, some people do that though. I don't want to mention what kind of people do this though, but I've seen in a movie, and it wasn't scripted. They were trying to be natural. I saw in the movie it was, oh man, they got him though. Damn, they got him. Yeah, they got him though. They got him. Yeah, they got him. No, they got him. They got him. Damn, they got him. They got. Oh, I got a story for you. Um, woman my age and younger man younger than 21, they're talking about their social media, uh, people that they're speaking to on social media. And he had said something that got the reaction out of her that she wanted that person to be blocked. And so what she did, she put her hand out and she started dabbing her palm with her finger, index finger. She started saying blocked. Except I'm gonna show you how long it went. Blocked, 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 blocked. Yeah, blocked, 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 blocked. Is this annoying yet? Blocked, blocked, blocked. It went on for longer than that. I shit you not. And the guy she was saying it to was receptive to it. And I'm just watching like, should I laugh to make the joke go away? You know, like is she repeating a punchline because she needs the audience reaction that they got the punchline, or what is this? Let me check. No. Nope. All right. Uh Shit. Yeah. Damn. Ran out of steam. I think I might actually go have to I think I might actually just have to get something to eat. I think I might just actually have to go out and go for a run. No. But if I went out for a run and got something to eat, I would just be schizo rambling in public with food in my mouth. Ah. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the new person who just